Does objective morality exist, or is everything just subjective? In other words, are some things inherently wrong and actually wrong, or is wrongness just my opinion? I believe it to be wrong, but maybe it's not. Check out this clip over here with Charlie Kirk having a discussion, a debate, but a respectful debate with this student over here talking about objective morality. So we'll watch this clip together and then talk about it. But first, that subscribe button over there in the corner. We'd love to stay in touch. Check this out.
Hi, Charlie. Thank you so much for coming here. I think it's really good that you come to campuses and talk to people who disagree with you. I also think it's like a testament, like you've like gotten a really big following, and it's a testament to the fact that capitalism works and merit-based societies work, that we can actually grow our influence. And yeah, so I agree with you with a lot of things, but I do disagree with you with like 2 or 3 particular points. And I hope to like go touch on all of them. Firstly, it's about morality and the fact that your claim that objective morality exists. I disagree with that. I think morality is relative for everyone or subjective, and it kind of like grows as with the culture and as the culture changes. So yeah, what are your thoughts about that, and how do you justify objective morality?
Do you believe in absolute truth?
What do you mean by absolute truth?
Absolute truth, like that there is truth absolute for all people.
Yes.
You do? Okay, that's objective morality.
That's objective facts. I won't say that's morality.
Okay, so do I have permission to ask you a provocative question?
Sure.
Was-
I know what you're going to ask.
Okay, fine. I mean, was Hitler objectively wrong?
No. So I do. So
Was the Holocaust objectively evil?
I want to like make a distinction between like my personal views that I do feel that it is wrong, but I can't say that it is like objectively wrong because I don't believe that objective morality exists. Like why can I ask you like why do you think objective morality exists, and how do you like ground that objective morality in?
Well, first, of course, we believe that the Lord of the heavens and the earth gave us that objective reality through revelation.
Okay.
But secondly, we believe it's written on the heart of every human. You know, in Nuremberg, it's very interesting. When they did the Nuremberg trials, and the Nazis basically said, well, in our country it was right, therefore it's right. Do you know that in Nuremberg they rejected that? They said, no, every human being knows that killing 6 million, babies and kids is wrong. And so do you think there's anything built into us of a moral compass that prevents us from doing evil and we have to try to stifle it?
I think there are moral intuitions that everyone has, but again, like those moral intuitions can differ from person to person, right? Like I might say that, like I don't know, like doing something is wrong, but like someone else might say, oh, it's fine in this situation. So like, how do you distinguish? Like, so it's obviously subjective, right? Like everyone might have their own opinions on what is right and what is wrong. So how do you how do you make a framework that says that, like, these are the rules of what is right and what is wrong, and like how do you ground
The
that?
more important question is, do you believe in God? Which I guess you do not.
I'm agnostic. Like,
Yeah, okay, so that's where, okay, so if you don't believe in, this actually, what's your name? Sorry.
Abhinav.
Yeah, well, you're making a great argument. And your argument is totally correct, which is that if you don't believe in God, then you cannot say that the Holocaust was wrong. In order to believe that, in order to believe something is objectively wrong, you must believe in God. Because if you believe in God, then you believe that there's a transcendent moral order that is over all of us. And you're proving that point, and it's not even a criticism. You are being consistent.
Okay.
And to your point, which is that, so we believe that there is a God that has rules for life. We believe that was given to Moses primarily at Mount Sinai. Thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not commit adultery. And that every society and every culture lives under that natural law. And so, but it's very interesting that if we get away from the idea of a belief in God and the transcendent, you can see how dangerous that is for society, right?
I wouldn't say it's dangerous because it really depends on what the morals the society adopts and like what their constitution is, what their values are. I don't know why that needs to be grounded in religion.
Well, so let me ask, okay, so would you say that murder is bad? Yes?
I would say that.
By
yeah.
what standard do you measure bad?
I would say that like it's based on my environment, how I was raised, like what my cultural beliefs are. like how everyone else like morality has influenced my morality. So it's like I believe that like, for example, like I think you brought this up in some other debate that like some tribes might like are okay with child sacrifice or
Yep.
cannibalism or things like that, right? So for them that is okay. For me, it's not, right? It really depends on what society we grow up in, I think.
Yeah, so child sacrifice is not something you think that is objectively wrong.
I just I'm just trying to understand how do I
Let's
ground
pay attention up here,
objective.
guys. Thanks.
How do we ground what is objective? And also you brought up a point that like if you do believe in God, then we do have objective morality, right? And you obviously believe in Christianity. But my point is like if, for example, a different religion has different morals, how do you determine which one is objective? Because both will think that it's objective, right? So how do you make that determination?
It's a great question. Well, first you have to look at, there's just a side show going on here. You have to look at the proof and the fruit of which that moral system has delivered.
Okay.
And so, are you from India? I don't mean
Yeah,
to, okay.
I'm from Delhi.
Do you, can I ask you a provocative question? I don't mean to offend you by any way, but
Sure.
do you think that the moral system of India or the moral system of America, which is better?
What do you mean by moral system? Like, can
Caste
you give
system.
me some? Yeah, I disagree with the caste system.
Got it. So you disagree with it, but is there something objectively evil and wrong with saying that 200 million people are permanently in poverty?
Again, I want to ask you like how do we ground objectivity? Like what, like for example, like for scientific theories, like we can like conduct experiments and say okay, it's objectively true. But like for morality, like it depends person to, like for example, people living in India at that time, for them it might have been okay, right? So like how do we ground the objectivity? Like
You have,
yeah.
you have to believe in God. You have to believe in a power, more specifically a monotheistic one.
Okay, why is that?
Well, because if you have many gods, polytheism, you have many moralities. And if one God, one morality. So that's why ethical monotheism founded America. And so, of course, it's a faith claim in some ways, but we can use science also to get us pretty close to believing in God, from space, time, and matter, from the teleological argument for God, for how all the fine-tuning of our universe exists. But then in order, once you believe in a God, then you can then say there's an objective morality. If you don't believe in God, your position is correct. It's
But,
all just context.
So this young man is honest. He's also very confused. And this is what happens when you take the idea of subjective morality to its end point, is that if something is wrong, if the Holocaust is wrong just because I think it's wrong, well, then you say that it's not wrong. Well, that's your opinion. I have my opinion. So I wouldn't do that. But if you want to do that, go right ahead. I think it's wrong, but you're saying that it's not wrong is equally valid as my saying that it is wrong. And so his personal viewpoints, his subjective morality, imagine, as Charlie Cook pointed out correctly, imagine if a whole country took on that same sort of ideology. And so would it be right if the entire Nazi German people, if the entire country decided, you know what, this is what we're doing, this is what we're about, this is what we're going to go with, that's our opinion, that's our viewpoint? Or is it objectively wrong? And if it is objectively wrong, where does that objective standard of morality come from? That's the question. That's the discussion. Love to hear your thoughts on that. And if you enjoy this content overall, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. Love to stay in touch. Take care.